Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you? Hopeful in good health. Okay, I will presentation my paper about the role of the community in supporting the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government reopen the tourism sector amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, before moving on the material presentation, I will introduce myself. My name is Melly Dwi Savitri. You call me Melly. I am a student in governance at the University of Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Okay, just go straight to the outline. First, introduction. The second, literature review. Third, research methods. Next, finding, discussion, and the last, conclusion and reference. Introduction consists of context, issue, gaps, research goal, and the last research question. Next, introduction. First, context. With the COVID-19 pandemic, the government cannot work alone. The government recommends the public to apply social distancing and physical distancing to break the chain of spread the virus. Implementation of government policy as regulated in Law Number 4 of 1984 concerning communicable diseases outbreaks, reduce activities, community involvement. Next issue, the problem that will arise with the reopening of Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta tourists amid the COVID-19 pandemic is that it will only add to the spread of the COVID-19 virus in the life of the people of Yogyakarta. Next, gaps. Even though the community implements social distancing and the government has implemented health protocol, it does not rule out the increasing spread of the COVID-19 virus so that to reopen tourism. The Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government must review this and consider it carefully. Next, research goals. The purpose of this study was to see how the community active role in supporting the implementation of the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government's program to reopen Malioboro tourism destination in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, the last of the introduction is research question. Question number 1. Why is the role of the people of Yogyakarta important in reopening Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta tourists in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic? And question number 2 is, what is the role of the community in supporting the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government to reopen tourism destination in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic? Next, literature review. First, definition of community participation. Community participation is the participation of all community members in solving a community problem. In this case, the community itself is actively thinking, planning, implementing, and evaluating its public health programs. Institution for existing institution in society can only support, motivate, and create it. Next, understanding the role of the community. Community participation in heading the spread of COVID-19. From Muhammad Mulyadi. The spread of COVID-19 is out of control. The government invite the public to take part in keeping the spread from spreading by limiting social or physical contacts. Indonesian community initiative in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, a health development effort from Maya Yenita Sihotang, Angga Siskar Hadian, and Puguh Prasetyo Putra. Next, another study was conducted by Udin Rosidin, Laili Rahayuwati, Erna Herwati, behavior and role of community figures in prevention and healing of COVID-19 pandemic in Jayaraga Village, Garut Regency. Next, research method. The study used qualitative methods to provide an overview of the role of society, What is meant by qualitative research? Namely, research that understand what phenomena are the subject of research holistically, through description in the form of words and language in a special natural context and by utilizing various scientific methods. By Moleo, the study used a descriptive qualitative method. And the target population of this research is people who are found in a Malioboro tourism, include reader, visitor, and student. They are randomly selected based on their willingness to determine. Um, this research use interview and documentation techniques. In addition, in obtaining data, it is also supported by technical observation. Next, finding the importance of the rural community. Based on interview, the community states that before Malioboro tourism was reopened, the Yogyakarta city government held a socialization by inviting the whole community and stating that in the context of the return of Malioboro tourism object, it was also in tackling COVID-19. The role of the community is very important. The following is a description of the explanation above. In reopening Malioboro amid the COVID-19 pandemics, previously the government had invited the public to attend the socialization. In the event, the government conveyed the importance of community participation in supporting the implementation of this policy by following the health protocols that have been provided while keeping Malioboro in safe condition. And next, the role by the community in supporting the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government, based on the interview from the 5 sources relate to the role of the community in supporting the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government to reopen Malioboro tourism amid the COVID-19 pandemic. It quite well. The average answer given are closely related. The following is a description of the explanation above. In supporting the DIY government to reopen Malioboro in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemics by following the applicable health protocol as recommended by the government. In addition, participating in maintaining Malioboro by build the self-awareness, caring for each other, reminding each other, maintaining and following government recommendation for the common good. In order to stay active and hopeful, COVID-19 will quickly disappear and Malioboro will recover soon as before. And next, discussion. This finding is evidence of the role of the community. The study found that the role of the community in supporting the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government to reopen Malioboro amid the COVID-19 pandemic was quite good. The finding is a new finding and researchers hope that it can be used as a reference for further relevant studies. These findings are also supported by the theory of the community participation approach proposed by Pierce Black and Harold Brofile, 100, 119, 109,087 in their book Land Degradation and Society, quotes from Kadri, 1998, that is necessary to put communities as land manager or at the center of problem management and based on the best community perception. From this theory, there are no findings that the role of the community in implementing the program and policy taken very necessary. And next, conclusion. Based on the analysis, evidence of the role of the community in supporting this policy can be seen from the effort made by the community in keeping Malioboro implemented in a safe condition by complying with the regulation and following exciting health protocol. The community has felt the impact directly from the COVID-19 pandemic. The results conclude that the community had played a role in supporting the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government policy in reopening Malioboro amid the COVID-19 pandemic. And this research also embracing the positive influence in order to provide insight and knowledge to reader of the importance of the role of society in supporting government policy in terms of the common good, especially from the people around Malioboro tourism in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, so that they are able to implement the policy of reopening Malioboro, which has been well prepared and right on target. And based on the research finding of this study, it is recommended that further research be able to conduct further research related to this topic, namely about the strategy carried out by the Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta government by deciding to reopen tourism amid the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as to what extent the readers has been done by the government so that it is able to issue policy to reopen tourism amid the COVID-19 pandemic. And the last reference, this is reference is my paper. Okay. That's why my presentation. If you have question, you can immediately send it via my email. Maybe that's it. Sorry for all my mistakes. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.